How to desensitize a reactive dog. If your goal is to desensitize a reactive dog, then you first need to understand how their brains work. In previous videos, we have gone over how dogs are 100% in the moment creatures, but their brains are a little bit more complicated than that. Now, to help you understand how your dog's brain works, we are going to break it down into 4 parts: the moment, attention span, short-term, and long-term memory. When we say that dogs are in the moment creatures, what we are referring to is that dogs do not conceptualize time, which means that they are unable to conceptualize whatever they are currently feeling may only be temporary. And we can see this in dogs that become over threshold. But while dogs don't have a concept of time, they aren't unaware. In fact, dogs are very intelligent creatures that excel in problem solving. This is because a dog's intelligence is based on their pattern recognition. However, the pattern must be shown within their attention span in order for the association to form. A dog's attention span is like a muscle. The more that we work through problem solving, the longer our dog will be able to focus. An untrained dog has an attention span around 20 to 30 seconds, while a fully trained dog may have closer to a 2.5-minute attention span. Intelligent use of the attention span is how qualified trainers teach dogs to do amazing things. But for the unaware, it can work against you. This is how reactivity forms. A combination of inexperienced dogs becoming over threshold after becoming flooded with adrenaline and dopamine via an external trigger, then being removed from the trigger that caused the behavior within their current attention span. This forms a pattern that teaches the dog to associate that trigger with getting their hit of adrenaline and dopamine. Instead, what we need to do in order to prevent this pattern from forming is to not remove the dog from the potential trigger until we have passed the length of time of their current short-term memory. This is the psychological process behind the pocket drill. A general rule of thumb for knowing your dog's short-term memory is whatever the current potential attention span for your dog would be if fully trained, doubled, which usually falls between 3 to 5 minutes for most dogs who are over 12 months of age. In the pocket drill, you safely ride the wave with your dog while they process the chemical reaction. The term "in the pocket" refers to you as the handler maintaining a Goldilocks distance from the trigger where your dog is close enough for your dog to become sensitized to the trigger, but far enough to where your dog would feel ridiculous going over threshold. Riding this wave for the length of time of their short-term memory allows your dog to disassociate the temporary chemical reaction happening inside their brain to the external trigger that's in their environment, and allows your dog to form a different relationship with the trigger once the chemical reaction has dissipated. There are 2 major benefits that passing the short-term memory barrier does for your dog. 1, it allows your dog to go back into homeostasis after the temporary chemical reaction dissipates. And 2, it removes the association of fear, nervousness, or excitement with the initial interaction of the trigger. This is because the dog no longer remembers the initial meeting, so now the dog has an opportunity to form an opinion on the object without the fear, nervousness, or excitement that comes along with being sensitized. And long-term memory is the collective experience and association with multiple short-term memories that create a pattern. Our goal for long-term memory should be structure and understanding of both the environment and our communication. A desensitized dog is a dog who understands their environment, and a dog who understands their environment is a confident dog.